Hey, Deep Divers, welcome back to another episode of the Deep Dive with E and K. On today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about self-care. So last week, we dived a lot into self-love and what that looked like, what it meant for both of us. We also talked about our journeys and how we were able to get to a place where we can say that we love ourselves. And we heard a lot about you all, and you guys all gave your opinions and your comments on the topic as well, and we appreciate it so much. So today, we just want to give a little bit of tidbits about self-care and what that looks like for us.
Awesome. So the first question is, why does self-care matter?
I mean, I'll go ahead and just say that like self-care matters because literally a lot of it that I'm going to say is tied to the last conversation that we just had. Like it is very important to like sit time for yourself. It is very important to take care of yourself. Like the journey to self-love includes taking care of yourself. Like you have to be able to say no. You have to be able to step away from something when it's too much and it doesn't bring you the joy and the peace that you need it to bring you. Like, so it's kind of just your way of like, at least my way of rejuvenating and like, you know, in order to be the best version of myself and live my best life like everybody wants to do, you know, I have to take care of myself. You know, it's kind of like, you know, taking care of your body and how you like what you eat and how you eat and things like that, like to be the best version of yourself, to be that stronger, you know, person. So it is very important to self-care. It's important to just have time for yourself. Like it's so easy to just have time for everybody else, but sometimes you just can be like, pause, it's all about me, 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 me. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I mean, everything you said is correct. I mean, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't neglect yourself in that area of your life. Like, it's really important that, you know, and the thing is, like, I know that, like, I'm speaking for myself, like, life gets crazy and your
Yeah.
schedule gets busy. I remember even, um, last year was like trying to balance, you know, work, school, family, you know, like, so I was doing finishing up my master's, like, all of it is a lot, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you don't take the time to put yourself as a priority and make yourself a priority, I should say, and then, um, you know, rejuvenate yourself and really take the time out of your day to focus primarily on yourself, then you end up getting burnt out. You
Yeah.
end up feeling it. I am speaking from experience because say I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way because life kicked my
Booty.
ass. Okay. I mean, you said it the better way, but like, my friend.
Ass. Both. True.
No, but like so like for yeah, it truly does matter because you know I really do go now, especially now because after learning the hard way is that like you may think you can keep going and going and going and going, but your body, let me tell
Mm.
you, your body will
Your
shut
body
you down. Like, and my
will.
body was like, sis, you're doing too much. We're done. We can't take it anymore. And we are not happy with you. So it is extremely important as a form of practicing self-love to practice self-care, especially now more than ever. I mean, during these stressful times of
Oh yeah.
COVID, Black Lives Matter, just being Black, period. Let's be honest, because
That's yeah. Like yeah.
but like it's really important that you take time to really really step away from your busy schedule and then, you know, make time for yourself. So um I mean, one of the some so okay, this is something I've heard, right? Some people don't know how to practice self-care. Like they
Yeah.
don't know what it means to practice self-care. And two is like, sometimes how can I practice self-care if finances is an issue? So one of the
Yes. So
things,
let's talk about that. Like, what is
yeah.
one way you can first practice self care, and then we can touch into like the financial part of it. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the
yeah,
ways to get to that is to ask yourself, what are the changes you want to make in regards to practicing self care, and then backing your way into those other two
yeah.
questions.
Okay, okay. And also, what does self care look like for you, though?
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think that's very important. Like, yes, you can talk about like what are the changes you want to make, but if you don't even have a baseline for what that means for you, the individual, then no, you can't make changes to something that hasn't even been established yet. Like, so establish like what self-care is for you, and then kind of maneuver it, manipulate it so that it works. And then like, okay, like how can I do it consistently, or how can I like afford it? If it is,
Yeah.
if self-care for you requires money, then how can you do that as well? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's finding balance between your inner and outer worlds, right? So
Right.
it's um trying to deal with, because the thing is, when you're not practicing self-care, you feel it physically, like the toll that it takes on
Yeah.
your body, you feel physically, but you also feel it mentally and on your spirit. So it's really thinking about, okay, how do I balance everything going on? How do I create inner peace? How do I create physical peace? And so in regards to the financial piece, I am team free 99. Okay. There
We're
is
so different. But go ahead.
no,
It's
don't
good.
get me
Differences are
wrong, because
great.
I will spend my coins, okay, to get my peace. Don't get me wrong, okay. I am bougie and proud.
It's bad and bougie, bad.
I'm very bougie proud. I'm
Girl, I even drink sometimes. I don't know if you notice, but sometimes I'll drink water and naturally my pinky comes up. I didn't realize until somebody pointed
okay,
it out.
baby, aka in training. Like
When I was in elementary school, they pointed this out to me. I have been doing this for years. When they pointed out to me, I was like, "Oh shoot, I really do
listen,
that."
pinky don't mean you on a you not on a budget, so it don't
No,
matter.
it doesn't. But I am bougie. So at the same time, I believe that there are DIY, like in DIY, and I believe there are ways that you can get self-care without having to always spend money, because that's not always the reality. Sometimes the reason why you need to take a self-care break is because you're stressed about your finances, or you're working a job but like you're struggling to make ends meet. Been there, done that. And so like
Still doing that. Shoot. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, please. Been there, done that, still doing it. Whatever.
yo, after watching
Millennial life.
but real quick though, after watching Yvonne Orji's special, I'm like, yo, I want to get to the auto pay place when I can. Listen.
Hey, can we hold on? Pause. My mom did not understand the joke, and I was like, "Mother, really?" She's like, "Yeah, like what? Like I don't get it." I'm like, "Auto pay as a millennial is a blessing. When you could put all your money on all your bills on auto pay and not have to worry what time they can have you taken out your account, you have made it. You have made it." But she was like, "Damn, y'all really be going through it like that?" I'm like, "Yes, the millennials are struggling. Like, listen, we are struggling, baby. Like, I probably got like 1 to 2 bills at most on auto pay, and those bills are like baby bills. Like, it's like $11, $10. Like, it's mad little, as in like it wouldn't impact me OD. But to have a 500, my mother goes, "Oh, I have one bill that's $500 on auto pay." I said, "Sandra, can I be you when I grow up? Because hey, 500 what? Huh?"
No.
Anyway, fast forward. But yeah, go ahead, girl.
No, honestly though, but that is honestly, auto pay would be like a sense
A
of,
blessing.
yo, that would
Auto
add to
pay,
my
auto
self
pay,
care.
auto pays in my prayers. Okay. Jesus, can I just, bless you with auto pay?
Jesus, be a vessel,
Yeah,
be a
auto
bridge.
pay. Yes. Anyway, but
Honestly though, I mean that was not I mean that was kind of sidetracked, but not really, because
yes.
I need that for my self care. Like,
Self-care. I need to know that like I can get there one day.
oh my god. Yeah, I mean, so I'll talk about, to start off with, like when it comes to the financial piece, some ways you can practice self care and save a coin. Okay, so there are yoga, like you can buy a mat. I know you hate yoga.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. What I was gonna say, I do hate yoga, by the way. But what I was gonna say is, stare, that's a gym. Let me tell you why. Because quarantine, as much as we hate COVID, and it is didn't come at a time that is convenient for anybody across the world, I will say that the amount of free 99 things I've seen to help you invest in self-care is beyond me. So back to what you were saying about yoga, like there's lots of free yoga, y'all. But go ahead.
$3.99.
$3.99.
Okay.
Like all you gotta do is click the Zoom link and you there with
I've been practicing it.
some expert in yoga, and you living your best whole life. But yes.
One of the places to check out is one Village Healing.
Yes.
They're offering free yoga, meditation,
Get on it
relaxation.
now because we don't know how long it's gonna be.
So
So
August for now. I mean,
August, yes.
that's
I mean,
more than enough time.
If Auntie Rona wants to extend herself to December, then I'm guessing it'll be free. But I also do believe that after a while they're gonna start charging people, especially because they see that COVID is going longer than
But the
expected.
thing is, even before COVID, I was doing free yoga.
See, well, there you go. There's the
All
plug.
you do is this, okay? It costs like less than $20 to buy a yoga mat.
That is not free. Oh, the mat. Sorry. I was like, you lie. The lies.
But it's like a long-term investment. I bought my yoga mat like more than 5 years ago, and sis looks like she's in brand new condition, okay? And I bought it at Marshall's for less than $20, and you can find them on Amazon too.
And Five Below, if y'all, I don't know if they have.
Yes,
Five
they do have my Five Belows for $5.
Okay, so if you shop it, if you have or even 99, those 99-cent bargain, that's more than
Five Below does, because I bought one as a gift for somebody.
But you better never do that to me. I'm joking.
It wasn't a birthday gift. It was just a random. I'm thinking about you and your self-care gift.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Okay.
It was so petty.
I was like, five bit what? I'm the word, clearly. Bougie, but go ahead.
Yo, so, and then on YouTube, they have 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, different time sessions. And, I naturally always look for people who are Black. That's just me. But they do have yoga instructors who are Black who show you from their home, sometimes from the beach, sometimes from a random park, and they'll walk you through the steps. But also, because this was something I told one of my friends, and they were like, "Girl, I'm big. I ain't trying to do skinny people yoga." They have
They have plus size women doing
yes.
yoga.
And so this gives you something to do for free. The same thing for meditation. You can do guided voice meditation on YouTube for free, sitting in the comfort of your home. That's one example of how you can practice self-care. Another one I do all the time. You know how I feel about my skincare.
Oh, yeah. You and me both. I mean, well, we're on different levels, but Esther's on like the fast track of skincare. I'm basic at AF, but go ahead, girl.
I am in love with my skincare, and I even have a steamer, my little facial steamer. I got masks. I got it all. Like literally, I even got a little extraction tool. Like I'm deep into my skincare, but the time I take in the morning and at night to my skincare is important to me. And then every once in a while I do a long extensive when I do clay masks, sheet masks, do the whole process. Yeah, did I spend money at some point? Absolutely. But when you total up to a year, how long you can end up using the product versus how much you paid for it for the initial time.
Yeah. Like if you get facials every 2 weeks versus buying the mask and you have it for like a couple, like 6 months or whatever, that's different as opposed to going to get a facial every week,
Exactly. So that's just another thing. And I'm like, for example, you can buy the Indian clay mask on Amazon or Whole Foods for like $8. You mix that with some apple cider vinegar, plop it on your face, and you're chilling. Like, you spent less than $10 and you gave yourself a good detoxing.
And it lasts a long time.
It does. And you can use it on your hair and other parts of your body. So like those are just two examples. Three actually, because meditation was one of them, of how you can practice simple things.
Yes.
For your home.
For sure.
Carrie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bougie, so I do everything that Esther right. So I do everything that Esther talked about. I think the one thing that I need to work on myself with is the yoga, because I'd be like, oh my God, you want me to twist my body? How? Like, and I don't know, maybe it's because I'm thicker.
We were in a Zoom yoga class together. I went to message her, sis was gone.
We were in some yoga class, and I said, girl, I didn't do it. She said, what?
Yoga. It was trap yoga.
Yes, I didn't do, I didn't do it. Trap yoga.
I know.
But I didn't do it. I was literally like, yo, forget this. I'm going to work out right after. But yeah, like yoga, God is working on my heart with yoga, But yes, yoga is an option. I really do love to meditate, although I don't do it as often. I'm not like deep in it, but like meditation is just really good to clear your mind. Like, it's not even so much about like doing like all that floating extra stuff, like that's for you and somebody else. But as for me in my house, I don't do that. But I do meditate, and it should help because I'm an overthinker, so it helps me to really clear my mind and stuff. But some other things that I do that I love to do my nails. So like I will make it a priority, especially whenever I've been having a long week, to always go get my nails done. Unfortunately for Auntie Rona, my toes are looking crazy.
Girl, you are preaching.
Me and every woman in America. Okay, let me not say that because some women are just really good with their own nails. But
I was doing it for a while, but that gets tiring.
Don't get me
else
wrong. I'll do my fingernails and stuff, but my toes, I need a deep scrub and all that good stuff. But anyway, that is my one way, and I will literally pay for the foot massage, and like my bill will be crazy, and I'll be like, you know what, girl, but you needed it. I give myself all these excuses as to why I needed the foot massage and the callus treatment and the mask and all that. I'm like, you didn't need that.
So I'm not gonna judge you because I do the exact same.
I love it, and it makes me feel good. And like, here's how I see life sometimes. Like, yes, be financially like smart, like don't OD, but at the same time, like when you die, that money is not going in a bank in heaven. It's a dub. Like, so I'm not telling you to blow all your coins for your self-care, but I'm saying like once in a while you have to really think like, all right, $80 for
yourself,
the massage, the foot, whatever, and the paint, I'm gonna do it. Like sometimes you have to just be willing to do it all for yourself. Like I'm not saying do it all the time, but like it's worth it sometimes. So I love that. I love to get massages on my back. Like, oof, a good back massage. I'll pay me a good coin. If you in Brooklyn, Body by Brooklyn is where it's at. I know there's other places, but I'm gonna shout out for Brooklyn right now. Body by Brooklyn, bop bop. So good. But I love me a good back massage. I'll pay my little 160, 70, 80, whatever I gotta pay for the little hot rocks. Like I'm extra, like I need it. So I would do that. What else is self-care for me? Wine is self-care.
The thing is though, like even if you're on a budget, you can still do those things. It's just like, okay, maybe you don't go and get a massage all the time, but maybe every 6 months
or once a year. Like I know that sounds like a stretch, but like that's what I do.
But
like
that's what I mean. Like you can put together the money aside and do it, and then 2 people Groupon is your friend.
I mean, I'm as bougie though to be like, ooh, like what's their practices over there? Because not every massage place,
you always got to do your research. But I'm saying that's another thing.
Not every place is worth trusting with your body.
You really are pressed about it. Like that's something to do. I'm with you. I will spend my little coins. Like I found in January before Rona.
I know.
I found this place. I drove went all the way to Rhode Island. And found this Thai massage place. Girl, when I say they will see me again, it's they have a little mat on the floor, a little mattress on the floor. Them people be like, they bent me in ways I didn't know my body could bend. But
I'm
feeling like a newborn, like I was reborn, like I was aligned, my body was straight, my back, my spine was renewed. Like I felt amazing. I'm like, I live in Connecticut, but I will take a trip to Rhode Island for that.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that. You got to go out of your way for your self-care. But another thing I would say, even though I'm more on the bougie end sometimes, another way that I like to spend my self-care is being lazy all damn day. And when I mean all day, I mean from the time I open my eyes and wipe them and brush my teeth, and I'm on Netflix literally from that time till bedtime. Absolutely. That to me is self-care. Like sometimes you have to fully unplug. And when I mean fully unplug, I mean I'm not going out with nobody. I'm not leaving this house. I probably didn't even shower for that day because
you can't reach me on the phone.
You can't call me. I'm not. I have work to do for Monday. I'm not opening my laptop. Like nobody knows my name. It is me and my iPad, and it's me watching Netflix, Hulu, Disney, whatever I need to watch. And I mean all day. Like I've binge watched episodes all day, and like to me that might be the laziest form of self-care. But when I tell you,
it's not.
Love it.
It's not.
Love it. That is a form of self-care.
It is, because sometimes you need to unplug. You literally
need to unplug. The ability to unplug is self-care. Yes.
And one of the things I sometimes do too is I'll watch like mindless reality television as a form of self-care, and people be like, oh, like how can you watch that? And my thing is this: that's not my life. I don't know anybody who lives.
Yeah, I get to comment on it, which I love.
Yeah, I don't
But
know anybody.
you saw what Johnny did? I love it. I love it.
You don't know anybody who argues like that. But when you are busy and running, and my work has always been in the nonprofit sector, and your work is in education, and like when you're doing that, can be tiring to your mind, especially
you take on so many other people's problems already.
God.
That like sometimes you just want to watch a show where you're not taking it on. Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, your biggest problem is that so and so didn't come to your birthday party. Sis, let's go ahead, be mad. Like I'm
like, what? Whatever.
And yeah, because for me, it's like, yo, I'm not thinking about racism. I'm not thinking about having conversation with nobody about race equity. I'm not thinking about coaching. I'm not thinking about homelessness. I'm not thinking about any of that.
The topics that drain you, that really drain your mental.
Because it's like, yeah, I love the work, but it's a lot on the soul. So like just not think. Beautiful. And another way is reading is another form of self-care.
And it's free. Well, I mean, the book you got to pay for, but after that, it's great.
No, I mean, yeah, but like once again, those are small investments, right? Like, and when I was younger, I was all into fiction. Now I'm all about the nonfiction, autobiography, self-care, self-help books. But those are really great ways, because sometimes a self-help book will force you to like
think and deep dive
and do your work and be introspective, and that can be, you know, at times it's like, oh my God, I'm like crying because you're like, oh my God, I've never thought about that. But then the release and peace you get out of it, because you've processed stuff that you were holding on to, is a form of self-care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think another form of self-care too, tied to what you were saying about reading books, is also watching things. So it's like going onto YouTube, and if you know you're interested in watching sermons that deep dive into like insecurities or whatever, shout out to Pastor Darius for that insecurity season. If y'all haven't seen it, get on it. I only seen episode 1 because he snatched my edges that I had to grow them back before I could watch the next one. But it is so good. Self-care is also about like, you know, grooming your soul and like really, you know, deep diving into who you are as a person and beginning, like continuing the work of loving on yourself and stuff like that. So I think for sure, like whether that's watching a movie or like watching, YouTube has a whole bunch of like really good short films or short clips of, you know, either a sermon or just someone speaking in general about like, you know, self-help things. It's not the form of a book, but it's a form of video. So I think that's also another thing. And like I would also add journaling is a good way to like, you know, have self-care, because there might be things that you want to get off your chest that you can't get off to a physical person. But if you're someone who is interested in journaling, that's a way to just get off your chest whatever is on it. So, and then another one for me is talking to friends. Like I love my friends. I'm really big on like my friends. So I feel like that has really helped me to like self-care is about kicking it with my girls, and just like we could be talking about absolutely nothing, or we could be watching something together that is developing both of our souls, and like we're taking notes and we're sharing ideas. Like, girl, like when this person said this really touched me by this. Like all of that to me is self-care, because I'm growing as an independent woman, but I'm also growing with my girls. And in my ideal, in my perspective and philosophy of friendship, it is about growing with your friends too. So I do like love to grow with them. And I think that's also another way to do that, like to have self-care. And it's free to call your girls and say, yo, let's read this book together, let's have a book club, yo, let's watch this movie and let's discuss it, or let's whatever,
catch up, let's go
let's go to the park. That's another one.
And then one of the things I love is like, you know, just grabbing a glass of wine and going to a friend's house and just catching up. Another one that I do to practice self-care is I am a foodie. I am a foodie.
I am a foodie. Do you see this body? Hello. Anyways.
I even got my little food blog.
Pause. The Fun and Cooking. Y'all need to follow her on Instagram. She has a whole blog, and she has a website of all the most poppin' dishes and some Haitian dishes for my Caribbean people out there. She is thebomb.com. It's Jean-Marie. So if you haven't gotten on it, The Fun and Cooking. That's her Instagram handle. Okay.
Thank you for the plug.
Hell
Um,
yes.
but I am so cooking is a form of self-care for me. Like being able to just stand in the kitchen and just like love on some food.
I wish I could do that.
But
I'll eat.
also
I will not cook.
yo, you're not. But separately from that too, fine dining. So
Bougie.
pre-corona, that is one of my bougie things. Pre-corona, every once in a blue moon, because this is fine dining. You got to be ready to spend some coins, okay?
You can't do it every day.
Yeah, you can't do it. No, I mean, I would be poor, like dead broke. But once in a while, being able to get dressed up nicely, go to a fancy restaurant, and I'm not gonna lie, I love walking in and being like black people and like fine dine. It's like
Yes, right?
yes,
Everyone around you is white, and you're like, yes, I'm here. I gotta sit at the table.
debit, please.
Right. And then you get all the courses. You get the appetizer down to dessert. You get the bottle.
I've even done.
You get the bottle, you've made it. I don't care.
Oh yes, I have done the bottle.
Not a glass of wine. When you get the bottle to the table, you have made it, people. Okay.
I've done the bottle, and I've even pre-corona I did a chef's menu.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. With every meal you got, they brought out a new wine.
Yeah, and that was separate. So it was a chef's menu and a wine tasting menu.
Oh.
Listen, it's the bougie, and I'm not gonna stop. I will once in a blue moon, because honestly, there's food.
You're worth it. You're worth it.
It's one of the ways I show myself love, because honestly, there's food, and then there's food.
Duh.
Literally cried tears of joy eating in a restaurant before, because it was so good. Like, and it's one of those things, it's like, your life is short. This is the whole thing. Life is short. You are not promised tomorrow. There's only two things we are guaranteed in this world. You're born and you die. The end. What happens in between, only God knows. Right. But if that is, I only get one life. I'm not a cat. There's no 9 lives. It's just the one.
I wish, but no.
So that means that you're going to have to enjoy life. And so our thing is this. Yes, does work become a hectic thing? Yeah, you can make excuses 500 different ways about how to not practice self-care. Like, there's studies and every year that come out that Americans and like high percentages don't use their vacation days. Don't use their
that's a fact. It's a fact. I'm a victim of it for sure.
My thing is this: when you die, you're not taking that work with you.
And not even just that.
Nobody's talking. Like, people are not really gonna. I've gone to multiple funerals, and your career is like a snippet. People talk about who you were as a person, how you touched your lives. So if you only get this one life, you might as well enjoy it. And so
and real quick with that, when you die from your job, you pass away, the way they replace you is like you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, you're right.
It's sad.
Like, oh my gosh. But they need your role filled. They need your position filled. So at the end of the day, like, you not taking a day doesn't help anyone but them. It definitely doesn't help you, because when you pass away, they're looking for interviews who can replace you. And although like you're irreplaceable and they'll say all these great things and stuff like that, but the job needs to get done. They need to make money.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we will make excuses. Oh, I have this deadline. Oh, my finances. Oh, if you have kids, oh, this, that, you will always find a reason. But guess what? If you die tomorrow, do you want your life to be you worked, you died, and No, you don't. You want to be able to have different side notes. You want to know that, like, yo, I did randomly get a random awesome massage in this place, or I've done other things to give myself a balance.
Prioritize myself.
Yes, and so all of that to say is that, trust me, we understand the pressures of the world. We understand work pressures, family pressures, financial pressures. At the same time, you still, even if, like I said, it's once a year, even if it's every couple months, take the time out. Even if you take the vacation and you don't have the money to go anywhere, and you just go in your backyard and pull up a little seat and barbecue, take the time for yourself.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like I also wanted to add that like travel is another great one, and I love to travel, but I can't always afford to travel. But
Yeah.
travel is definitely a great one. And with traveling, don't always think about like the Caribbean and all these outside places. Traveling could just like I live in New York, and me, Esther, and one of our other best friends, Nicole, we drove up to Albany, New York, and we had a blast. Like traveling doesn't have to be going out of the country all the time. It can literally just be like I'm going to Connecticut, especially as a New Yorker where like New York is like on, you're going. It feels like such a rat race all the time. Like for me to just go into the quietness of Connecticut is self-care for me because it's like calmer, it's slower. I can like relax a little bit or whatever. Like going to Florida, like you don't have to feel like you have to go everywhere. Like think about the 50 states. Where haven't you been and where can you drive to?
Absolutely.
Or where can be a quick little like, dash across that you can go to, take a Greyhound or a train or whatever, Metro
Sometimes
North.
you're just checking into a hotel for a night.
No, exactly. You can be right in the city of New York. I mean, it's expensive, but or you can go on the outskirts and check into a hotel. Like, think about that. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. But at the end of the day, like, what I want to say about self-care is like tied to self-love. Like, it is something that is a necessity, and however you choose to do it, however you choose to live it is completely on you, but you just need to take the time. Like, self-care is going to look different for so many people, and we've provided so many free options and not so free options, some options that are affordable, like getting in a hotel that might be maybe in the Connecticut or New Jersey area if you're a New Yorker or wherever, but it's definitely a necessity. And at the end of the day, when you take that time to show care to yourself, you're essentially showing love to yourself because you understand that you need a moment, just like everybody in the world needs a moment. Like, take the days if you have them. Like, even if you don't have them, I worked at a job that only gave us three days. I was a teacher, 3 days. We worked 10 months out of the school year and got 3 smooth days, and I took 3 and then some because mental health days are important. Days for yourself, even if that means you're just at home being lazy, like do it. You deserve it. Like, it's a part of showing yourself love.
Absolutely. And another one that's important is getting 8 hours of sleep. I
Drinking water too.
Yes, I suck at the 8 hours of sleep. I'm not gonna lie, but every once in a while, I will take a Saturday, and I'm like, I'm sleeping in. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't doing nothing. But like, sleep is really important. Like, so for me, I don't always get to get my 8 hours, but if I can sneak in a nap for 30 minutes, I will sneak in my nap for 30 minutes. Heck, I took a nap today. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do, and also like thinking about like if okay, your schedule is so busy and financials is so hard and you can't wait for the year to save up or the 6 months to save up, try doing like every day or every other day, taking 30 minutes out of your day, 30 minutes, and doing something you enjoy, an activity you enjoy, whether it's going for a walk, whatever it is, do something 30 minutes every day or every
coloring
other
is also a really good one. I know that
adult coloring.
Adult color, yeah.
And one of the things I do, actually just reminded me, is I draw pictures as a way to practice self-care and just also disconnecting and being at peace, and it relaxes me. So that's something else to do.
If you're a writer like me, I like to write. Yeah. Writing is another good way.
Turn to your support system.
Music is also great self-care.
I don't know why we say that. Yes, music.
Yes, I just thought about it. Like, I thought about the creative people, like the people who are the artsier, and they like, art. They like music. They like fashion. Yeah. Fashion's another great one. Like, if you're really someone who, at the end of the day, think about self-care as doing something you love genuinely and making time for doing what you genuinely love. If you love fashion, if you love travel, if you love meditation, if you love yoga, if you love music, drawing, working out, binge watching, whatever it is that you love, at the end of the day, self-care means taking time for the things you care most about that will build you up and show love to yourself. And so, like, no matter what that is, just do that. Yeah, and like you said, 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, like I said, 30 minutes is a way, and checking in with your support system, because sometimes it's just, okay, you're feeling overwhelmed, you just need to step away and talk to somebody, and just being able to process your hard day and talk about it, and also being intentional with checking in with yourself emotionally. How am I doing? When's the last time?
How are you doing really? Because sometimes like the suppressing comes in, like if you're going for anything like me where work is like sometimes work gets so tunnel vision that I forget to pause and say, how are you? So like Esther was saying, check in with yourself and like intentionally check in with yourself, not after a month of being slammered with so much work that you're checking in with yourself. Like either after every day or at the end of the week when it's a Friday, like check in, like, okay, how was the
Yeah.
week? How are you feeling? What can we do to develop?
When's the last time you took time for yourself? And
Right,
sometimes it's just asking yourself like intentional questions, like,
right,
what does my body need today? What does
right,
my mind need today? What does my soul need today?
right,
What is my intention, right? Intention for today,
right.
regarding yourself. And that is the piece, because like we said, life is short and you really don't want to keep waiting and waiting to take time and saying you're gonna wait till this and this happen, and then your body
Gives
or
up on it.
life circumstances happen and you can't. So it
Right.
is better if, like I said, if you can't go on the vacation and you can't wait to save up for the massage or whatever it is, at least take the 30 minutes to do something you enjoy. But the thing is, do something.
Yeah, and self-care is very important during this time of the coronavirus, because the things that we would all normally do to show ourselves love and show care to ourselves, we can't do. Like
Mm-mm.
I can't go get that massage or that
Can't get
pedicure
my
that I
nails
want to
done.
get. Right. I can't go travel the way that I want to, at least like when I mean travel, I mean like travel, like out of country travel, not just like go to the neighboring states or whatever. So like it's very important during this time to really think about like what makes you happy and like what are some ways, even in the midst of a pandemic, for example, that you can make time for yourself so that way you don't go crazy. Like, because trust me, this is a very good time to go crazy, but
Yeah.
that's not like at all what anyone wants. So
No, absolutely.
time for yourself is important.
And create a system of accountability so that you keep yourself accountable to make sure that you are practicing it. So whether that's a friend or whatever it is.
A
And another thing
timer,
that
a
we've been
calendar. Like if you get something on the calendar, where like
yeah,
every
honor it.
Sunday, every second Monday, or whatever it is that you need. Like it may be a
You got to
5.
honor it.
Yeah, like have that set up and honor it. Yeah.
And one of the things I forgot that we've been doing that we didn't talk about, which is, we're going to cover this as its own topic at some point, but therapy
Oh my God, yes.
is also extremely important for self-care. Like,
Yes.
and there are options to get therapy for free. So if that is
At
something
this
that,
time, like I don't know about in
no,
general.
even
Okay.
yeah, depending on like your income and whatever, just look into it. But there are
Yeah.
options, and then there are services out there to get help, to protect your mental health for free. So just, use Google and reach out for help. But that is another way to practice self-care, because your mental self-care is
It's very
extremely,
important.
yeah, if
Yeah.
not more, because if your mind is not right, then it's harder to practice self-care in the other areas.
Yeah.
Because
Like don't try to get your nails done because you think that that is all you need, when you know that it's a mental thing. Like to Esther's point, asking questions is important. Like, is my self-care need right now a mental or a physical? Because I can get my nails done and still feel like a hot mess in my brain. But me, I do feel relaxed and mentally and all that stuff when I do those things. But for some people, it might be a mask, and you don't want to. Your self-care should never be a mask. You should never be doing things because you feel like it will mask your feelings. You should do things because it will really expose that like peace and that calmness that you need. So
yeah,
like also just think about that when you're thinking about self-care. Like,
yeah.
what am I doing, and is this really helping me, or is this just like something fun to do that actually has no correlation to where I'm at mentally?
And don't compare, like, and it's your own journey, so don't compare yourself to others. Like for me, self-care is about turning off my brain, but
Yeah.
for other people, self-care is about being more intentional and being more, like, taking the time to think deeper and like do self-introspection.
Yeah.
So like,
Self-care for everyone.
it has to balance out for whatever it is for you. And then the last thing that I know that we've also, or I guess, yeah, we've also done recently during this time is finding communities on Zoom and online with other women of color to basically discuss life and just be able to
Anything.
escape it.
Literally anything.
Literal, and it's been really, really amazing, and it gives you a sense of peace and a sense of connection, and that you're not alone. But there are resources out there. So the goal is, if you think it could exist, my option is always to Google it. And if it doesn't, hey, maybe you're the one to create it for your
Created it.
city, your town,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But just don't do nothing, and don't make excuses. And I mean that in the sense with the most empathy. Because trust me, we can
I make
for an
excuses.
excuse for an excuse. We can always come for a reason why we cannot do something. But once again, life is not guaranteed. Don't wait till it's too late.
Yeah.
Take the time to prioritize and care and love on yourself, because you are important and you matter.
Yes, very true, 100%, Esther. You hit it right on the nail when you said that.
I know.
But we just want to thank you all for just tuning in with us and rocking with us as we talked a little bit about self-care. And we would love to know, as always, what are your self-care like routines or methods or whatever it is that you do? Because, you know, we shared a lot, but there's also some things that we may not know that are either free or not free that can be helpful for ourselves and also for our community of deep divers. So please comment below. Please share on our Instagram, wherever, like what are some things that is working for you when it comes to self-care and loving on yourself.
Absolutely. And share resources that you know
Yes.
about out there. Like, you know, Therapy for Black Girls is a place for people looking
Yes.
for therapy if you're a Black girl. Like, there's just so many
I found my therapist on there.
Yeah, there's so many wonderful, wonderful options out there. So feel free to share with others. Because, you know, we are a community, and what, you know, knowledge is power. And yeah, we thank you for listening, and don't forget, love on yourself.
Love on yourself. And don't forget to share also this podcast and this vlog with anyone that you feel like may benefit from thinking about ways to practice self-care. Comment, subscribe, like, follow us on Instagram. And we love you so much. Thank you for rocking with us.
Bye.
Bye.